What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Out of the Box. It is your resident Delco dork, Gabe Riberio, back with another video. It's Christmas time, folks, and what piece of Christmas literature has been adapted so many times that is so timeless? I'm talking about A Christmas Carol, and there are a lot of versions out there over the years, but which ones do I think are great, and which ones do I think are pretty bad? That's what today's video is going to be all about. Today's going to be my ranking of 10 Christmas Carol adaptations, ranked from worst to best. With that out of the way, let's get into that ranking, shall we? Number 10, and we're talking bottom of the barrel here, worst of the worst, is Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol from 1962. This special sucks. I'm not going to pull punches. I don't find it that interesting or entertaining. The whole shtick of the plot is that Mr. Magoo shows up late for his production of A Christmas Carol where he's playing Scrooge and the director gets hurt. I'm not a big fan of Mr. Magoo's shtick. It's like, oh, he has bad eyesight, so he stumbles into things or mistakes things for other things. It doesn't make this special that interesting. I don't like it at all. I've seen it 3 times and that's 4 times too many. If you want to talk about some plus sides, it's the first ever Christmas special that was animated that aired on TV in 1962. The voice cast has the late great Paul Frees, who is Burgermeister Meisterburger from Santa Claus Coming to Town. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of this. If I need to watch something Mr. Magoo related, I'm watching the Leslie Nielsen live action movie from the 90s. I'm already tired of talking about this special. Let's move on to number 9, shall we?
Christmas! Humbug!
Number 9 is A Christmas Carol, 2009, the one directed by Robert Zemeckis and starring Jim Carrey. This movie exists. I don't think it's awful, it's not an offending watch, but it doesn't really do anything for me. I'm not a big fan of the CGI. Jim Carrey plays too many roles in this, and, you know, with certain productions of Christmas Carol, you can have people doubling up roles. I think he's fine as Scrooge, but I'm not a big fan of his portrayal of the ghosts. His portrayal of the Ghost of Christmas Past has this weird inflection that reminds me of the X-Files episode of The Simpsons where they think Mr. Burns is an alien.
I bring you love.
It's bringing love. Don't let it get away.
Break his legs.
The highlight of this movie is definitely Gary Oldman. He's Bob Cratchit and Jacob Marley, 2 roles that he kills. Otherwise, I just think it's there. Some people said that if you really appreciate the source material, you'll really love this one. I don't know, it's okay, but there are some that are way better. Which brings me on to number 8. Number 8 is A Christmas Carol 1999. This aired on TNT originally. It's a TV special that stars Patrick Stewart as Scrooge. He's great and everything. I've seen this version twice, and honestly, the only thing I remember about it is that it is a Christmas Carol adaptation with Patrick Stewart. It also has Richard E. Grant as Bob Cratchit. He's very good. Joel Grey does that same thing as the Ghost of Christmas Past, where he does that Mr. Burns alien. It's just, I don't know. You can do that character in so many ways, and I guess some people just like that aesthetic. I need to watch it again, because it just feels so forgettable. Not bad, just not memorable in my scope. So it's going to have to be another watch at some point, but it lands on number 8 just for being a special that doesn't last with me. Number 7 is Mickey's Christmas Carol from 1983. And shout out to Mickey's Christmas Carol, will be hitting its 40th anniversary on the 16th of December. A lot of people forget about this, but after Don Bluth took his animation team with him after Fox and the Hound, there wasn't any theatrical releases for anything for the Disney Animation Studio until The Black Cauldron in '85, except for this. It was added to a re-release of The Rescuers, and I think the animation is top-notch. I've mentioned it before in my specials video. If you guys haven't seen that, check it out. It's on the channel. There's a lot of things I love about it. Scrooge McDuck is always great. I just don't like Goofy as Jacob Marley. I know he has to be there, but it's just the shtick of I tripped over something. But it does really well with humor and heart, and it's a little creepy too, but all encapsulating special in 25 minutes does really good with the source material with the Disney guys. Great stuff. Number 6 is A Christmas Carol 2004. This is a musical that stars Kelsey Grammer as Scrooge. It originally aired on NBC, and it has a modest budget that could be a feature film. It's $17 million to make it, and the production value is top-notch. I think Kelsey Grammer is decent enough as Scrooge, and he's not a bad singer. It's just anytime I hear him sing, I'm picturing Sideshow Bob.
I'm called Little Buttercup, poor Little Buttercup, though I could never tell why.
Jesse L. Martin is the ghost of Christmas Present, and his sequence is some of the best in the movie. Jason Alexander is Ashley Marley, and most people forget he had a run on Broadway, and he's really good. And there's this great sequence with the Phantoms, and the CGI for 2004 looks pretty good. The only thing I don't like is the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. I don't like the execution of that at all. But otherwise, for some special that I just saw this year, I thought it was pretty damn good, and that's why it's making this list at number 6. Number 5 is A Christmas Carol 1984. This is the version with George C. Scott that won an Emmy. It's a TV movie. It also stars the late, great David Warren, great character actor. He's Bob Cratchit. George C. Scott is fine, but I feel like sometimes he's in and out of an accent, and I don't know. He's a great actor. It's just, I like things that are a little bit more unique when you bring it into the spectrum of Christmas Carol and how you want to adapt it. I think everything is executed decently enough. There's just some things about it that just don't put it over the top for me. But overall, it's still a solid watch to put on during the holiday season. Now we're getting into some of the heavy hitters here. Number 4 is Scrooge, 1970. This is a movie musical with Albert Finney. He plays old and young Scrooge. That doesn't happen often. It has some catchy-ass songs. December the 25th from the Fezziwig scene, Scrooge has a song called I Hate People. I can relate. There's also just a great sequence that happens in the third act when he meets the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, and the townsfolk are tearing up all their debt notices from Scrooge, and he's none the wiser as they're singing about and they're dancing on top of his coffin with a great song called Thank You Very Much. Highly recommend it. I watch it every year. Great stuff. Number 3 is Scrooged, 1988. You've got a Christmas Carol adaptation where they're putting on a production of A Christmas Carol with a greedy and selfish TV executive that is played by Bill Murray in the 80s. I love this movie. It's hilarious. Great ensemble cast. David Johansen, Carol Kane, Robert Mitchum, John Forsythe, John Glover, Alfred Woodard. It goes on and on and on. I think Frank Cross, the Scrooge counterpart that we get from Bill Murray, he has great chemistry with Karen Allen. She's also great. It's funny because I heard they didn't actually get along on set. Frank's Miracles monologue is something that always gets me choked up. Scrooge is one of my favorite Christmas movies. That's a list for another day. But for this list, it at least makes number 3 because it's great. Number 2 is Scrooge from 1951. Anybody in my age bracket, their parents or grandparents will swear by this one. Yes, this is the one with Alistair Sim that airs on PBS every year at midnight on Christmas Eve. And it is the definitive Christmas Carol to them as far as they're concerned. And it is still effective. There's a reason that it is, because it is so legendary. It is such a great execution of the concept. The black and white element, even for a movie that came out in the 50s, adds to it so much more. I think this movie is outstanding. There's a reason it always gets played. It's because it is what most people consider to be a Christmas Carol adaptation. Done right. It is really good, but it doesn't crack my top spot. And there's only one that it makes that distinction. Number 1 is A Muppet Christmas Carol from 1992. This movie has resonated with me ever since I was a kid. We got the VHS immediately. I watch it every year. On Christmas night, it's the last movie that I use to close the season. Michael Caine, a lot of people praise his performance because he takes this role seriously. He is Ebenezer Scrooge in a production of A Christmas Carol. He treats the role with respect, and he's so earnest. The songs are outstanding. One More Sleep Till Christmas. Oh, God, there's so many great things I love about this movie. I have the soundtrack on vinyl. I could talk ad nauseum. Obviously, it's one of my favorite Christmas movies. Again, a list for another day. We'll see where that lands.
Hey, like the lamp, not the rat, like the lamp, not the rat.
It is my favorite Christmas Carol adaptation, and I don't think that will ever change. That's why Muppet Christmas Carol makes my number 1. So that's it for this ranking, guys. What Christmas Carol adaptations are some of your favorites? Did I leave any off the list? Let me know down in the comments. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Happy holiday season, you guys. I'm Gabe Riberio. This has been Out of the Box, and I'll see you in the new year.
I bring you love.
Weird.